I usually come here, but I took a turn and realized I did a mistake. It rained pretty heavy today morning.
Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So the weather's getting cold and probably be snowing sometime soon, maybe in the next few weeks or days. So I thought, why not to make a video and show you some riding tips in winter. And what I typically do, our Canadian weather gets colder much earlier than our neighbors in the south. So in this video I'll show you how I typically prepare myself before going out and riding, and as well as what I do to stay warm on the motorcycle. So let's get started. So as I'm preparing to wear my gloves, what I do is typically I turn the engine on and let it run for about, I would say, a minute or two. And that is because in winter the oil temperature is anyway very cold, so it's better for it to run. Typically in summer I would let it run for about a minute before I start to ride on slowly, and then I proceed further as the temperature increases. But in winter I give it a little bit more time, so I let it. Other thing I do is, you see here, my heated grips are on number 2 and my rider seat is on level number 2 of heating as well. So I turn on both these heatings. Now typically as the cold weather has started, I honestly don't change those settings and leave them on. So in case I even forget or anything, as soon as I turn on the bike, the heating, for my seat and the grips are turned on. The next thing is, as I sit on the bike after a minute and I'm ready to ride, my seat is already heated at a slightly, a good temperature, and my grips are pretty good as well. Now all I need to do is ride out. Now if the temperature is really cold, I probably turn the bars further up for the heated seat and even for the grips. Typically I've seen no matter how cold of a weather it is, I'm pretty comfortable with my heated seats being on the 2 bars there. Summer or winter, I always wear non-perforated gloves. Our Canadian summers are, even though they are pretty warm, I would say, at times, but I still prefer non-perforated gloves because evenings can be cooler sometimes, and honestly I have no complaints about it. So non-perforated gloves has been always my preference, and that's what I wear. Now wearing the same ones that I was wearing in summer and now wearing them in winter, I have absolutely no issues. I stay warm and stay comfortable while riding. Definitely this GoldWing windshield helps as well a lot, and I have no doubts about that. It helps in protecting the wind hitting my body, and I stay warm because of that too. But gloves is one thing that definitely makes a difference. The other thing, my visor, like I previously mentioned in my video, my helmet visor is something that I typically keep it open because the windshield helps me and the air is not hitting my face. I let the visor remain open, but in winter I close that down, so I'm warm, instead of the cold air hitting my face, my cheeks, and that is something I do as well. One very important part of winter riding is my riding gear. Now that gear includes my jackets, my trousers or pants that I'm wearing, and my boots. Keep in mind, if you have proper riding gear, 90% of the time you won't feel cold at all. And that is exactly what I feel. When I'm riding in cold weather,
even in a condition which is like today, it's cold and windy, and my bike is swinging left and right, I don't feel cold at all. And believe me, if I go now back home and take this off and come down with even a full sleeves regular cotton t-shirt and a regular, denim jeans pant or anything else, I will feel cold. That is the difference, and I've tested it. And that is why investing in a good riding gear makes a huge difference. This summer, something I noticed that a lot of riders riding with me have the preference of a good and cheap riding gear. You pay for what you get, and I am a strong believer of that. You pay for what you get. You pay good, you buy good riding gear, it's going to be protective, it's going to be, with you for a long time and protecting you. And that is something I live by, and I'm totally, on about it, always and always. Even when I have to advise someone or a new rider, my first thing is invest in good riding gear. Do not save money. And the result is, when the time comes and when you need that gear, it's there protecting you, regardless it's winter or summer. I bought this Revit jacket, and believe me, it's one of the best decisions I did. No matter how cold it gets, with the inner layer, I feel always protected. I'm always warm. The last thing I want to feel while riding on a trip is that I start feeling cold, and I want to end my trip, and that is what I don't want to do. I don't want to be ending my trip. I want to be out there enjoying my time rather than feeling cold and I'm back home. So good riding gear makes a huge difference. Buy good protective riding gear and it will last you for years. I have had, and I still am using, my riding gears for the last 10 years. And I can tell you that it's so good that it's still working for me. It's still very good. My boots, which I'm about to make a review on very soon, I'll tell you, I've been using my BMW Sneaker 3 boots for the last about 8-9 years. And after 9 years of them being on my feet and me riding in the heat of 50 degrees centigrade and our Canadian winter here, they have served me well. Now is the time. When I show you, you'll probably be laughing at me, and the reason is because now is the time that they are giving up on me. There are not one or two, I think there's about 3 or 4 tear in the upper layer, which shouldn't happen. But those tear are there because I just love riding in those boots. I'm so comfortable. And that is one thing I need to be I'll be changing. So for next season I'll be having a new riding boot, not this one. This is a beautiful view. I usually come here, but I took a turn and realized I did a mistake. It rained pretty heavy today morning, and with these leaves on the road, I gotta be careful so my bike doesn't slip. And that kind of drifted me away from the topic. Anyways, guys, so I was saying good riding gear is the key to, So I was saying good riding gear is the key to having a pleasant ride and staying warm. Buy a good jacket. One thing I also noticed in my ride going around, going to different places this year, I noticed a lot of GoldWing riders wearing Climb or Klim, whichever way you pronounce it, wearing that riding gear. Now I am absolutely in love with Climb.
no doubt about it. I love that gear. I love what they make. I love what they do. And that is eventually my plan. I want to get rid of all my Revit or keep it as a secondary jacket, but eventually invest in proper climb riding gear. And that is what I've seen a lot of touring riders riding with. So a lot of them who I've seen ride with those gears. They're wearing climb trousers or the full suit, climb gloves, and that's what they're doing. Oh my god, what a beautiful view. Be careful, it's wet. The last thing I want is to slip on. So I'm just trying to avoid water and going in the center because both sides have leaves and wet leaves and water. And that is something I don't want. But beautiful. So enough talking about the gear today. So enough talking about the winter gear. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope this video helps you to make a better decision in choosing the right gear. And make sure to choose the gear so it protects you and not just it's a showpiece. Because a gear which is a showpiece looks cool, could be at times not the most protective one. And believe me, one fall is all it takes to ruin, your ride. And that is the last thing you want, or anyone wants. I'm sure many of you will agree with me on this. So feel free to comment below, what you think or what should be done. Till next time, ride safe, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.